to your left, you can see me climbing over. Well,
Hello, my name is Arthur. Welcome to GunsAreCool.com. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 guns in early game Tarkov. And by early game, I mean, levels 1 through 15. Also, everything on these guns, and the guns themselves, can be bought from traders, and all parts I put on them, all ammunition. No trading for items, it's all pure rubles for item. Obviously, you could modify these guns in ways by, let's say you do a raid, you bring back some bartering items, and now you can barter for a bigger mag, a 30-round mag instead of a 10-round mag, so on and so forth. But I'm not going to get into a guide of how to find these certain items to get these certain mags just so you can trade for it, and oh god, that's too much work. So we're just going to go for buying items straight from traders into your pocket. Also, a quick side note, these are going to be some of the cheapest guns, because as we all know, money is not easy to come by in Tarkov. So I guess you could call this top 3 budget-friendly, best guns in the game, early wipe Tarkov thing. Yeah, we'll go with that. So for our first pick, we're going to go with the AKS-74UN. We're choosing the UN version because you can put a sight on it. It's as plain as simple as that. If you're okay with Tarkov's, stock iron sights, then just go with the AKS-74U. But if you're like me and you're blind as fuck, you're going to need the UN. So you can pick this bad boy up from proper level 1 for about 35,000. This is going to be the most expensive build, but I think in the long run it's worth it. Now, after buying the 74 UN from Proper, you're going to go ahead and pick up the Cobra Reflex Sight, make sure it's the dovetail mount one, and the 6P20 muzzle brake as well from Proper. It's going to run you about 10,000 rubles for the sight, and then another 1,000 for the muzzle brake. Next up, you're going to head over to Skier, and we're going to pick up a new foregrip and a new handguard. It's going to be the B11 foregrip. Sorry, I'm stupid. It's going to be the B11 handguard, and then the RK6 foregrip. The handguard should run you another 6,000 rubles, while the foregrip runs another 7,000 rubles. That's going to bring our total build up to 59,000 rubles. Now, I know what you're saying, that is pretty expensive for early wipe, but trust me, it's worth it. One of the biggest upsides about using this weapon, and one of the main reasons I chose it, is you can get 30-round mags. Because unfortunately, with any of the 7.62, 3.66, or I think 5.56 options, you're kind of stuck to 10-round mags, unless you're forced to barter for anything above a 10-round mag. Where, with this 5.45, I think you can pick up the black mags for 2,800 rubles apiece. Now, there is one downside to this build, and the more and more I look at it, I think it's kind of just every ammo type early game, but unfortunately the 5.45 rounds just have no penetration whatsoever. But that's okay, because you're just going to pick up the PRS rounds and go for limbs. This thing's honestly a monster at tearing apart limbs too. Now, you do have to get within, short range, medium range, mainly short range, but that's not too hard to do with a gun that's so lightweight and, with high ergonomics. You should be able to traverse around the map pretty easily. One of the other benefits about using this weapon is if you keep it on full auto all the time, and you're very generous with the amount of ammunition that you put into an enemy, then your recoil control skill will go up, and that's an extremely important thing for later on in the game. Now, I will say I wouldn't try to use this thing long range. You might be able to single tap somebody in the head, if you're lucky, but unfortunately with those PRS rounds you're not going to pen a level 3 helmet, which almost everyone has on. Another big upside of running around with the AKS-74UN is that the hip fire is extremely accurate. Generally, if you just point your gun up a little bit and have the enemy in the middle of your screen, you're going to hit them exactly where you want to. Now, obviously, this gun does have its downsides, and I think the biggest thing is the penetration. If you aim for center of mass, you're going to lose. You're going to get killed. So generally, the best rule of thumb is to aim for either legs or the face. You see, the gun doesn't have a lot of recoil, so aiming for, upper chest, it won't really bounce to the head that much. And if you're shooting somebody in the chest, unless they're wearing PACA or nothing at all, they're just going to eat it. Another nice thing about the AKS is that it has an extremely high fire rate. So if you are shooting in an armor that the PRS rounds can pen, then even if it takes a lot of rounds, it'll do it very quickly. Next up on our list of guns, we're going to go with the Silenced Keter. Now, there's 3 different Keters you can choose from level 1 proper, and honestly, in my opinion, the Silenced Keter is the best, because the ergo is still extremely high, and that silencer does a very good job of controlling the recoil. Now, the nice thing about this gun is that it's a flat up and down price. We're not going to add a single thing to it. You're going to head over to Proper and pick it up for 36,000 rubles. That's it. Now, there is a downside. The gun comes with a 30-round mag, but you can only buy the 20-round mags. You can trade for a 30-round mag as well, but like I said, we're just going with stuff that you can buy straight out. Now, just like the AKS, the rounds that we're going to be using for the Keter have absolutely no penetration. I actually think they have less penetration. But once again, with that extremely high fire rate and good damage from the 9x18, you're just going to be aiming for limbs, and you're going to be ripping the enemy apart one leg at a time. So the rounds you're going to want to use for this are the PMPSV rounds, sold from Jaeger level 1. These rounds have some of the best damage and bang for your buck, really. Now this gun never ceases to surprise me. Its low recoil is absolutely crazy. With this low recoil, it makes short-range fights extremely easy, and you'd think it would make mid-range fights easy too, but it seems that the gun loses either accuracy or stopping power between mid and long range. So generally, you really want to close in the distance and get almost right on top of your enemies for those leg shots. Once again, this is going to be a weapon that you do not aim for center of mass, because you're not going to penetrate any armor. I actually don't even think you're going to penetrate P.E.K.K.A. with the 9x18. But do you know what you can penetrate? Those fucking kneecaps. Now, I was talking about how high of a fire rate the AKS had. This is higher. I do believe it's around 900 rounds a minute. So what that means is bring a shit ton of ammo. The nice thing about the 20 round mags is that they only take up one space, they reload faster, so theoretically you could bring in, 8, 10, 12 of those mags with an extra 50 stack, and generally you'll be okay. I will say, if you've never used the Keter, I highly suggest it. This gun is absolutely devastating. Now for number 3, the final gun on our list of very cool guns. You guessed it, it's the double barrel shotgun. This gun is stupid. And by this gun, I kind of mean any shotgun in Tarkov, but you can absolutely kill some of the most geared players with this gun. Now preferably you want to put Magnum buckshot in here, but the 7mm buckshot is what we're going to use. So, where can you get the gun? Well, you can get it from Jaeger level 1 for a crisp 8,820 rubles. And that's it. You just have to buy ammo now. It is literally the cheapest thing you can take in. Another cool thing about this gun is that you can set its firing mode. Not only does it have a single fire, it also has what's called double tap, which shoots both rounds at the same time. Generally, I'd say if you're in very close range, like indoors and in the dorms or something, I'd keep it on double tap. But if you're out and about, running through the fields, running through the forest, I'd keep it on single tap. Now you might be asking, why did you add the double barrel shotgun to the 3 top guns early game Tarkov? Well, see, to answer that, we have to answer what kind of game Tarkov is. Tarkov loves to call themselves a realistic shooter. Now, in all of their realism math that they've done throughout the game to do all the physics of the bullets and all that good stuff and all the hitboxes, the people, they decided that if one pellet from a 12 gauge round goes through your teeth, or let's say goes through your chin, you're dead. So really it's as simple as that. Why wouldn't you use a shotgun? Using a shotgun in a game like Tarkov is like shooting 8 bullets at once. Or if you have it on double tap mode, 16 bullets at once. The other thing that Ballistic Games decided was that shotgun rounds need to penetrate every level of armor. Now you might think, well yeah, it's a shotgun. But think of it this way. One shot from the 12 gauge to the chest of someone that's wearing slick armor is going to hurt them much more than an entire 30 round clip from the AKS that we started out with. So this is why I added the double barrel shotgun to the list. The double barrel shotgun is also the only weapon on this list that I would suggest aiming for center of mass. Now obviously I would suggest aiming for a little bit higher than center of mass, mainly going for those headshots, because the more pellets you can have traveling towards someone's head, the higher possibility they're going to die. Now you'd also think, well, it's just a shotgun, Arthur, so it's only going to be good inside, short range. Wrong! You are correct that this gun is extremely good inside and short range. But it's also extremely good medium range. The only place it really falls off is long range. I mean, what can I say? If you don't believe me, go and check it out yourself, but this shotgun is just absolutely broken. You can round any corner, the ergo is amazing. As long as you aim towards someone's head and pull the trigger, there's about a 90% chance that they're just dead. The only time that you don't want to aim for the head or the top of center mass is if you can clearly see that someone is wearing something like a fast MT with a full face shield, or if they're wearing Killa's helmet or Tagilla's face shield. Those are the only times you're not going to one-tap someone in the face. And if you do find yourself in a situation where you have to fight someone that is, dressed in something like that, then just blow out their legs. One shot with the 7mm buckshot from the right angle, you'll take out both legs. And because, once again, Tarkov is a realistic shooter, if you shoot a blacked out leg, it's going to hurt their head. And every other limb they have. So, why did I add the shotgun to this list? Because realism. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Tell me what you think in the comments. Are these really the best 3? Is there something with better stopping power and, cheaper that I didn't know about? Let me know. Oh, and if you like the video, make sure to subscribe. And hit the like button. Why not? It helps me out. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!